Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends with a special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This is our Picks of the Month video for November, and today we're going to talk about the Modern Horizons set. This has been an interesting set. There's a lot of really strong cards in it, but there's also been a lot of supply out there. Finally, we're starting to get to the point where the sealed product supply is beginning to dry up a little bit, so I thought it was a good time to talk about which cards you want to have in your collection because they potentially could be going up in value, maybe in some cases sooner than later. Quickly before we get started though, just a fast reminder about this series. The Picks of the Month videos do go out to gold patrons first, so by the time you see this on YouTube, it could be about 24 to 48 hours later. Some of the prices could have shifted a little bit, but I'm not expecting huge changes for the cards we're talking about today. Okay, before we get into the 10 cards though, just a real quick note about the purpose of this video. I want to be real clear. Two things. This is not a strategy video, so we're not going to necessarily talk about the best cards to play in any given deck. We are here to talk about cards that could be going up in value. Secondly, this is not a get-rich-quick video. If you want to go out there and buy 100 copies of a card that's on this list today and try to flip and sell them and make money tomorrow, I don't really think you're going to do all that well. This is about long-term value going up, so some of these cards are going to probably be increasing slowly over time. We're going to go in color pie order, beginning with Force of Negation at $32.05. So this is not a cheap card, and as a matter of fact, some of these cards we're going to look at today are a little bit expensive, and in the short term, some of them could lose a little more value, so maybe a card like this you might not want to purchase today, but just stay really close to it. Maybe in a few weeks it hits a low point of maybe around $30 or so if you're lucky, and then it might be a good time to pull the trigger. With that being said, why did I choose this card? Because it's just so good. Sees a ton of modern play, which I don't think is that surprising. Ever since the card was previewed, it felt like it was going to see a lot of modern play. But maybe more surprising, it sees legacy and vintage play. Even though Force of Will exists in those formats, it turns out that having a weaker 5th copy of Force of Will can still be good. Next is Urza Lord High Artificer at $33.46. A lot of crossover appeal here. Originally, people saw this as a great commander card, especially if you're trying to play more competitively, and it is that. Legacy players, a lot of times they're interested in this card, but no format has really taken to the card more than Modern. This is a format-defining card there. Urza builds, paradoxical Urza decks, they have been phenomenal, and this also shows up in some other places in the format too. As long as this doesn't get banned or anything like that, this has nowhere to go but up. Next we have Plague Engineers. We move into black, $5.55. Tons of modern and legacy sideboard play with this card. It's good against humans and other tribal builds you'll run into in those formats. Seasoned Pyromancers. We move to red at $10. Now this one is not seeing as much play as it once was, but it's still seeing a fair amount of play in modern and also sees some legacy play. This is one of those cards that could heat up at any time too if the meta shifts a little bit. Some new cards enter the format, all of a sudden this gets better. If you can get this for under $10, I think it's a good pickup. Collector Oof as we move to green, $4.16. Another great sideboard card. With artifacts playing such a big role right now in Modern, this is a very critical card to have access to if you're playing green. We'll move to multicolor with the first sliver, $6.93. Remember how expensive this was a few months ago? If you can pick this up for under $7, if you shop around, you can probably pick it up for under $6. I think it's a great card to have in your collection. If you want to play Commander Slivers at any time, having a copy of this will be good. Also, when it comes to long-term value, you know this is going to grow because the Sliver tribe is just huge among casual players. Ren and 6 at $60. Now, this one I would still wait a little bit. I think it's going to come down more before it does stabilize. It was recently banned in Legacy, which is where the card performed the best. With that being said, it's still a great card outside of Legacy. Modern, you'll find this in Jund, Rainbow Niv Mizzet, and more. Sees vintage play too. It's also a great commander card. Even with the banning, this is going to be a card that holds value over time. Here's the lone artifact on the list, Arkham's Astrolabe, 87 cents. It's a little bit cheaper here. It's a common. And yes, this did get banned in Pauper, which could keep it maybe stable for a little while. It's such a good card in Modern and Legacy, a big part of those Urza decks in Modern. No doubt this will be increasing in value, even if it is slowly over time. Prismatic Vista as we move to lands, $29.89, a little more expensive now again. This is not necessarily showing up in as many decks as it was early on, but this is just a staple in Modern when it comes to 4 and 5 color decks nowadays. If you're trying to get a little more greedy, this is going to be your friend there. This is also seeing some legacy play. Again, tons of long-term value potential for a card like this. And our last card is actually 5 cards. I went with a cycle here, so I cheated a little bit. Fiery Islet, $9.96. Nurturing Peatland at $9.91. Silent Clearing at $7.30. Sunbaked Canyon at $12.83. Waterlogged Grove at $7.99. So the Horizon or Canopy Lands, whichever you want to call them, these are just phenomenal for Modern, and also we're seeing some legacy play in many cases. Especially Fiery Islets and Sunbaked Canyon right now, they are looking phenomenal in burn builds. They allow the burn decks to have a card that's going to give them red mana if they need it, or later on help them hit heat, which is what those decks really want to do. Their worst fear is just running out of cards, so this does turn your extra lands into card draw. Perfect for those type of builds. And the other 3, although maybe not seeing the same degree of play, those 2 are still showing up in a ton of places as well. And in the future, they're going to see more play. These are also fantastic cards for Commander, Cubes, casual play as well. Alright, those are our picks for this month. Until next time though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.